Welcome back to Highwater Pass. We are now into episode 4. Last episode, we did the greenery for the zoo. You know, brought in some flavor to it. Tried to bring in the forest, and then we're gonna open it up into some grasslands. It took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do next because, you know, we've got sort of a big blank area here that just, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a blank canvas syndrome, you know. You have an idea of what you want to do, and then you sit down and look at the paper, and just all drive leaves you. And this is what is really the struggle throughout this area. So, I think this episode, we are going to go ahead and do some quick lighting along the paths, you know, just that way this looks nice at night, you can actually traverse it. And then, this shoreline. In the original version of this map, you know, the scenario one, this was all, like, lumber mill stuff. It looked really good, it was completely useless for what I wanted to do, and on top of that, you know, as mentioned before, the borders were, like, here. You know, not the expanded borders that we get. So, what I would like to do is sort of clean this up, make this look, you know, less unnatural, I guess, because it's just a sheer cliff, and it doesn't look good. So what I'm thinking is we will put in a reptile house to break up this sort of view, and then we will do some kind of like, probably like a garden or a maze or something like that, really just to, you know, hide the fact that it's just, you know, it's just a drop-off. So, if I could expand the borders and fix this, I would. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that without mods. And I don't really feel like messing around with mods. So, I think let's get started. Here, I thought I'd go ahead and do a little bit of an explanation. This flatten to terrace tool it's relatively new, and it's extremely useful if you know how to use it, but there are several ways to mess it up. And since I have a moment, I thought I would go ahead and explain how this works. So, over here, if you will look, we have our tooltips. We have the intensity of the brush. For this, I always keep it at 100 because you either want a shallow offset or you don't. So I keep it at 100, otherwise you end up just real slow, like it's not worth it. Size just works like any other brush, and you can shallow offset an entire area. You go to your water, it says valid, poof, you have a really shallow lake. However, you can mess this up. So first off, in order to get your shallow pool offset, you need to have this button clicked. If you don't, then what'll end up happening is it'll just flatten to the nearest touch point. Which, interestingly enough, we have one right here. Fascinating. It just doesn't want to... I don't know. Maybe it was too high of terrain. Anyway, we don't want any of this. So let's go ahead and erase it very slowly. If you want to erase terrain, just do it the same way you do anything else, Control Z. And if I don't have enough, there we go. If I don't have enough, I would just use the smooth tool, but I did. Right, back to flatten terrace. So if you do flatten to terrace, and you've got, say, like a mound here, and you wanna flatten to terrace. So terrace height will say, okay, at which lock point do you want me to flatten this to? Do you want to do every 1, every 2, every 20? So that controls this. So if we were to bump this up to 2, we get something more like that. Whereas if we do terrace 1, it'll subdivide. So we get a flat point up here, a flat point right here. So you'll notice that the terrain looks rugged, like really bad. You're gonna end up having to use your smooth tool in order to make any of this look good. The reason why you would want to do terraces is, like, if you were to do like a rice paddy, you would want flatten to terrace. If you were to do like we had up here, but you wanted to do like clear cuts into the mountain, terrace tool. So there's several ways that you can use this. Shallow pool offset can mess you up really badly. So right now, if I do my water, I get something that looks like this. Neat. We're not going to keep any of it. But let's say that I need to expand over here with my shallow tool offset, right? Okay, I can do that, right? And it's going to look terrible because, again, we have different lock points. And if you're not careful, if this is just a little bit too deep, what can end up happening, let's say we do a push, like we just want to make this little area just a little bit deeper for our pool, right? Just to add a little bit of variation. Well, now if I wanted to expand this out, Terrace Tool is not going to help me. Terrace Tool is going to do something like that. So be careful, be deliberate, have a plan, and you'll be fine. Alright, back to normally scheduled programming.
To me, the theme of the song is reflects like it's someone who's purpose-driven, who wants to do something and is eager to do it. No matter what happens, no matter what circumstances, kind of evokes some memories in me that I should have a purpose in life and live a purpose-driven life.
That's all that matters. We saw as well that even the people who are working behind this project believe in people for who they are. It's an honor and we thank you a lot for it.
Okay, so let's do a tour of what we did today. From the outside, it doesn't look like much, you know, it's pretty standard, pretty modern. We used these iron bars to kind of break up the spot where we did the double layer, so that way the insides, the facade would look nice and hidden, so that way you can't tell what's going on from the outside. And it just looks cleaner this way. We put on our standard glass roof. I need to put in some pillars. I need to clean up this gap right here. And then after that we need to go through and finish doing the lighting, because while I've got butterflies in here, they're not colored. They should work. We put in a power supply. My brother reminded me that solar panels do not work if you cover them, so we replaced it with a wind turbine. Let's go inside. So for those of you who are visually sensitive, I will have put a link to this walkthrough, so that way you can skip most of the episode. This is going to be really harsh to watch, because, you know, we're inside, we're doing all these little nooks and crannies. I mean, it was okay for me because I was able to take it slow, but once this footage speeds up, it's going to be rugged. So you walk in, and it looks like an American swamp. I think I'm gonna name this, like, no, I don't know, something to do with the Everglades. We've got American cattails. You walk through and you're greeted by the American bullfrog, a classic. We got lily pads. We've got papyrus, which papyrus is actually native to Africa. It shouldn't be in this area, but I mean, if we need to justify it, A, it looks good, and B, you know, the Everglades is just covered in invasive species. Like, was it the boa constrictor? No, the reticulated python. Like, they've set up shop in the Everglades forever. They shouldn't be there, but they are. So we've got this nice looking view. Took a while to do, but I think it looks good. So we walk all the way here through the back. Got a little bit of dirt showing up. See, you get all kinds of textures and stuff doing this, so you get little pebbles, which I think actually looks good in this area. We'll probably keep it this way. I don't know that I'm gonna do any custom curbs for this. Probably don't need to. So we walk up here. And the whole idea is that you're walking up into the canopy. And from here, watch your eyes, I'm going to have to take things sort of flying because, for whatever reason, these exhibits, they have like a buffer on the roof and on the ground, so that way you can't walk over them in walking mode, which I think is a bug. They need to fix that, but I don't know if anybody's brought it to their attention or if they know. Who knows? So, and then you're up in the canopy, and you can sort of see out into the world through the glass. And then eventually we will put the animals in here just to make it look good. So you come through this, patch through here. I'll probably have to fix this tree right here. Let's see what we can do about this. I think if I just lower this into the ground. Yeah, that looks good. So you still get the sense that you're walking through the canopy of the forest, but you don't have, stuff you have to walk around necessarily. Yeah, nice little area. And then, next episode, we're going to finish doing this. We're going to build kind of rocky arches around all of this. We're going to decorate it up. Maybe we'll put in some fennec foxes, maybe some rock penguins, just to, make this look nice and deserty and really show off what's available through here. I think rock penguins would be really cool over here, just because we're next to the water, and then fennec foxes maybe, like, right through here. And depending on whether or not they're walk-through or not, we might just have them putzing around. So yeah, and then we will delete these rock walls, this thing that didn't work out. These are not mine. These were made by a user on Steam. Their name should be showing up right now on the screen. So thank you to them. They were definitely a lifesaver. So let's go ahead and fly up. Let's do standard mode. There we go. And let's turn down the lights so that way we can see what we did there. There we go. And that's the whole zoo. So hopefully I will see you next time.